I welcome you to my channel. Subscribe and listen to my new stories every day. The sun hangs low in the sky, casting a warm glow over our suburban neighborhood. The sounds of children playing and lawnmowers humming fill the air as I sip my coffee on the porch, watching life unfold in the mundane rhythm I've come to love. But today, something feels different. My neighbor, Sarah, strides across her yard, her expression a mix of concern and urgency as she approaches me. "Hey, Tom. Can I talk to you for a minute?" she calls out, her voice cutting through the peaceful evening air. "Sure, Sarah. What's up?" I respond, setting my cup down and standing up, sensing the tension in her demeanor. She glances around, ensuring we're alone. "It's about Jake, my husband." My stomach tightens. Jake is a good guy, but there's always been a flicker of unease in the way he interacts with my wife, Jenna. I try to shake off the feeling, chalking it up to my overactive imagination. "What about him?" I ask, crossing my arms defensively. "He's been helping you with repairs, right?" Sarah continues, her voice lowering to a whisper. "Yeah, he came over a few times to fix the fence and help with some plumbing. But I haven't needed any help lately," I say, confusion clouding my thoughts. "Why do you ask?" A shadow passes over her face, and she hesitates before speaking. "Well, I've seen him at your place more often than usual, and I don't think it's just about repairs." I overheard something. My heart races as I wait for her to continue. "What do you mean?" "I heard him talking to someone on the phone. He mentioned you and Jenna in a way that didn't sound like they were just friends." Her eyes dart away, and I can tell she's wrestling with what to say next. "Are you sure?" I ask, my voice steady but my mind whirling with suspicion. "Jake wouldn't do that to me. We're friends." "Tom, I'm not saying he is, but," she trails off, biting her lip, unsure of how to finish. "Just tell me, Sarah," I urge, my anxiety mounting. "What did he say?" Her gaze meets mine, a mix of sympathy and fear etched on her face. "I can't say for certain, but it sounded like he's been seeing Jenna when you're not around." "I thought you should know." I feel a cold wave wash over me. My world tilts, and I struggle to regain my balance. "You think Jake is cheating with my wife?" "I don't know. But it's a possibility." "I just thought you should be aware," she says, her voice trembling. "I'm sorry, Tom." "Thanks for telling me," I reply, my voice barely a whisper as my mind races. I turn away, the sunlight suddenly too bright, burning my skin. I can't shake the images swirling in my head, Jenna laughing, her head thrown back in joy, the way her eyes light up when she talks about mundane things. I rush home, each step heavy with dread. As I throw open the front door, I'm met with an unsettling silence. "Jenna?" I call out, my voice echoing through the empty hall. No response. The unease grows as I make my way to the bedroom. The door is ajar, and I push it open slowly. What I see freezes me in place, Jenna, completely exposed, tangled in the sheets with Jake. Their laughter echoes in the room, and I can't move, can't breathe. "Tom!" Jenna gasps, her eyes wide with shock and horror. Jake quickly scrambles to cover himself, a look of disbelief on his face. Rage floods through me, a fire igniting at my core. "What the hell is going on here?" I shout, my voice breaking the silence like shattering glass. Jenna's face pales, and I see the truth dawning in her eyes. "It's not what it looks like," she stammers, scrambling to pull the sheets over her body. "Then what is it?" I spit, my heart pounding in my chest. "You're naked with my neighbor, and you expect me to believe it's innocent." Jake rises, trying to maintain a semblance of dignity. "Tom, I can explain." "Save it." I roar, fury coursing through me. I feel the betrayal pierce deep, like a knife twisting in my gut. "You both betrayed me. I trusted you. Please, just let me explain. Jenna begs, tears streaming down her cheeks. But the words fade into the background noise of my anger. No more words. I hiss, storming out of the room, each step echoing the finality of this moment. My heart aches, but alongside the pain brews a darker emotion, revenge. I slam the front door behind me and step into the crisp evening air, determination setting in. I won't let this slide. I won't walk away from this without a fight. Jenna will pay for her betrayal, and I'll ensure she knows the depths of my heartbreak. I glance back at the house, knowing I'll never view it the same way again. It's time to plan my retribution. No more tears, this is war. The night wraps around me like a heavy cloak as I pace the dimly lit streets of our neighborhood, the weight of betrayal pressing down on my chest. My mind races with thoughts of Jenna and Jake, the way they looked tangled together, their laughter echoing in my ears like a haunting melody. I can feel the anger simmering just beneath the surface, ready to boil over. I stop at the corner of the street, my gaze drifting toward Jake's house. The lights are on, and I can see shadows moving inside. My fists clench at my sides as a surge of adrenaline courses through me. I shouldn't be here, I should be home, processing what just happened, but the sight of his smug face is like a magnet, pulling me closer to the scene of the crime. What the hell am I doing? I mutter to myself, shaking my head as I try to regain my composure. But I know what I'm doing, planning my retribution. I whip out my phone, scrolling through contacts until I find Marcus, my best friend since high school. He's always had my back, and right now, I need him more than ever. I dial his number and pace in tight circles, my heart pounding in anticipation. Tom. What's up? Marcus answers, his voice cheerful. Hey, man. I need to talk, I reply, my tone serious. What's going on? He asks, sensing the urgency in my voice. I just caught Jenna with Jake, I say, feeling the bitterness rise in my throat. They were in our bedroom, together. What? No way. Are you serious? His disbelief cuts through the night, and I can hear him shifting in his seat, likely bracing himself for the details. I'm dead serious. I need your help to make this right, I say, my resolve hardening. What do you want to do? He asks cautiously. I want to make Jenna regret every moment of this. She needs to know that her actions have consequences. I want to show her what it feels like to be betrayed. I take a deep breath, laying out my plan, the excitement of vengeance sparking within me. I want to create a situation where she has to face the truth. You're talking about revenge, man. Are you sure you want to go down that road? He questions, concern lacing his voice. Yes. I've thought about it. I need her to feel the weight of what she's done, I insist. I want to catch them in the act, make it undeniable. All right, I'm in, Marcus finally says, a hint of mischief creeping into his tone. What's the plan? We spend the next hour devising the perfect setup, Marcus suggesting that we make a spectacle of it. He talks about posting on social media, making it public. Everyone should know what she did, he declares. We'll set up cameras and make sure it's all documented. As the plan crystallizes, I can feel the tension in my muscles starting to ease, replaced by a dark sense of purpose. We agree to meet tomorrow night to finalize everything, and I hang up, my mind buzzing with adrenaline. I return home, the atmosphere thick with betrayal. I step inside quietly, careful not to alert Jenna to my presence. I can hear her soft sobs drifting from the bedroom, and the sight of her curled up on our bed, vulnerable and heartbroken, fuels my resolve. This is a game now, and I'm in control. Jenna, I call out, my voice steady. She looks up, her eyes wide, caught off guard. We need to talk. Tom, please, she begins, but I cut her off. No more excuses. You made your choice, and now I'm making mine, I say, trying to keep my voice even despite the turmoil inside me. Tomorrow night, I'll be out, and I want you to be ready for the truth to come out. Tom, what are you talking about? She asks, her confusion evident. You'll see, I reply cryptically, feeling a thrill at the uncertainty in her voice. Just be prepared. I turn and walk out, the door clicking shut behind me with a finality that echoes in my mind. I know what I'm doing is dangerous, but it feels necessary. I can't let her walk away from this unscathed. The next day drags on, each hour a slow burn of anticipation. I barely eat, my mind consumed with thoughts of the plan and how it will unfold. As evening approaches, I meet Marcus at a local bar, where we set up our cameras discreetly, planning our vantage points for maximum impact. Tonight's the night, Tom. You ready for this? Marcus asks, his expression serious. I am, I say, though my stomach churns with a mix of anxiety and excitement. I just need to keep my head clear. We head back to my house, where I tell Marcus to hide in the bushes across the street, ready to capture the moment when Jenna's world collapses. As I walk toward the door, I glance back at Marcus, who gives me an encouraging nod. I step inside, the house quiet and eerie. I take a deep breath, knowing that tonight will change everything. The stage is set, I can almost feel the tension crackling in the air. Let the games begin, I whisper to myself, a grim smile creeping onto my face. Tonight, the truth will be revealed, and the consequences will be hers to bear. The clock ticks slowly as I sit on the couch, the weight of anticipation heavy in the air. Every creak of the floorboards echoes through the stillness, and I can feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins. It's just past 8 o'clock, and I know Jenna will be home soon. The house feels like a pressure cooker, and I'm just waiting for the moment to strike. My phone buzzes, and I glance at the screen. It's Marcus. Hey, man. I'm in position. Just waiting for the show to start, he texts. Got it. Let me know when she arrives, I reply, my fingers shaking slightly as I hit send. I'm filled with a mixture of dread and excitement. This is the moment I've been waiting for, and yet, I can't shake the feeling that I'm walking a dangerous line. I hear the faint sound of a car pulling into the driveway, and my heart races. Here we go, I whisper to myself, straining to hear the front door open. A moment later, the sound of Jenna's heels clicking against the hardwood floor fills the silence. Tom, she calls out, her voice laced with uncertainty. Are you home? In the living room, I respond, trying to keep my tone neutral, concealing the tempest brewing inside me. She walks in, her face brightening at the sight of me, but the smile fades as she sees the tension in my posture. What's wrong? You look tense. I've had a long day, I reply, forcing a casual tone that I hope masks the storm of emotions swirling beneath the surface. How was yours? Fine. Just busy with work, she says, avoiding my gaze as she takes a seat across from me. I notice her fidgeting, a telltale sign that she's anxious. Good. I was thinking about what we talked about last night, I say, watching her reaction closely. You know, about the truth. Her expression shifts, fear flickering in her eyes. Tom, please. I didn't mean what happened with Jake. I cut her off. You need to hear this, Jenna. Tonight is about facing the truth. I lean forward, my voice steady. I have something planned. You should know that I'm not the only one involved. What do you mean? She asks, her voice trembling now. Just as I'm about to respond, my phone vibrates again. It's Marcus. She's here. Let the games begin, the message reads. Just hold tight, I text back, adrenaline surging through me. I know this is the moment that will change everything. Jenna, I say, forcing her to look me in the eye. You think you've been living in a fairy tale, but it's time for the curtain to drop. What are you talking about? She pleads, but I can see the realization dawning in her eyes. She knows something's not right. Look, I've been playing nice, but your little affair isn't just going to vanish into thin air. Tonight, I'm going to show you exactly what betrayal feels like. I rise from the couch, pacing the room, letting the weight of my words sink in. I swear, it was a mistake. I love you, Tom, she exclaims, her voice rising in desperation. Love? I scoff, incredulous. You call that love? You and Jake? What a joke. I feel the bitterness rise in my throat. You think you can just toss away our years together for a moment of thrill? Please, Tom. Don't do this, she cries, her voice cracking as tears spill down her cheeks. I made a mistake, and I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't cut it, I reply coldly. You wanted a thrill? Let's see how thrilling this really is. With that, I pull out my phone and hit play on the recording I've made of our conversation last night, the moments of betrayal burned into digital memory. Her cries for help echo in the silence of the room as she realizes what's happening. What are you doing? She gasps, her face pale as she watches me. I'm showing you that your actions have consequences, I say, letting the video roll. The images of her and Jake, laughing and carefree, flash across the screen, and I see her face crumple in horror. No. Tom, please. Turn it off, she screams, but I don't budge. You'll watch this, Jenna. You need to see what you've done. I cross my arms, standing firm as the truth unfolds before her. Tom, I didn't mean for it to go this far, she sobs, but I can see the disbelief in her eyes. It's too late for her to play the victim now. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door. I glance at Jenna, a smirk creeping onto my face. I think your partner in crime is here. Don't. Please, she cries out, panic seeping into her voice. But I'm already striding toward the door, anticipation bubbling within me. I fling the door open, and there stands Jake, his expression shifting from casual confidence to shock as he takes in the scene. Tom. What's going on? He asks, but I can see the guilt written all over his face. Funny you should ask, I say, stepping aside and gesturing for him to enter. Come on in. Jenna and I were just having a chat about your little rendezvous. His eyes dart between me and Jenna, confusion etched on his face. What do you mean? Jenna, what's happening? Jake, she whispers, her voice shaking, it's not what you think. I cut her off again. Oh, it's exactly what I think. You both thought you could keep this secret, didn't you? Jake's expression shifts to one of anger. This is ridiculous, Tom. You're overreacting. Am I? I challenge, taking a step closer, the air thick with tension. You've betrayed me, both of you. And now you're going to see how it feels. I hit play again, the images flickering on the screen as Jenna's face falls, the realization hitting her like a freight train. Jake watches, his expression shifting from anger to horror as he sees the evidence of their betrayal. What the hell? He mutters, looking at Jenna with a mix of disbelief and rage. You told me it was over between you two. Jake, please. I didn't mean for this to happen. Jenna cries, her voice breaking as she falls to her knees, sobbing. Save it. I shout, the adrenaline surging through my veins. You both need to face what you've done. The tension in the room hangs thick, a palpable energy crackling as the truth becomes undeniable. I watch as their facade crumbles, and in that moment, I know I've won. They will both remember this night, etched in their memories as a reminder of their choices. Now, I say, my voice steady and cold, it's time for you both to deal with the consequences of your betrayal. The room is heavy with silence as the reality of the situation settles around us. Jenna is on her knees, her hands buried in her hair, sobbing uncontrollably. Jake stands frozen, the color drained from his face as he processes the betrayal, the consequences looming large in the air between us. Tom, I didn't think, Jake stammers, struggling to find the right words as if trying to rewind the past few minutes. Didn't think what? I sneer, stepping closer, my anger morphing into something darker. Didn't think I'd find out. Did you think you could just waltz into my home, into my life, and tear it apart without repercussions? I never meant for it to go this far. Jenna cries, her voice muffled as she presses her face into the carpet. I was confused, Tom. I didn't want to hurt you. But you did, I reply coldly. You both did. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, a war drum signaling the final act of this twisted play. It's time to turn the tables, to reclaim the power they've stripped from me. I had intended to expose them, but now, I realize that humiliation alone won't be enough. Get up, Jenna, I command, my voice cutting through her cries. She slowly raises her head, her eyes red and swollen, and I see the flicker of defiance within her. It's infuriating. Get up and face the truth. You're a coward hiding behind tears. Tom, please, she begs, but I hold my hand up to silence her. I'm done with your pleas. Tonight, you will witness the consequences of your betrayal, and it won't be pretty. I turn my gaze to Jake, whose anger is slowly morphing into desperation. You wanted this, Jake. You wanted my life. Well, let's see how well you handle the fallout. What are you planning to do? He asks, his bravado faltering as I walk toward the kitchen. I open the drawer and pull out a knife, its blade gleaming under the dim light. I can see their faces pale, fear washing over them. I want you to understand the pain you've caused, I say, letting the knife glint in the light, holding it tightly in my grip. You've destroyed what we built together. It's time for a reckoning. Tom, you don't have to do this. Jake shouts, panic rising in his voice. We can talk about this. Oh, we will, I say, my voice dripping with cold resolve. But first, I want you to experience the helplessness I felt. In one swift motion, I turn and throw the knife into the wall, just inches from Jake's head. He flinches, his breath hitching in his throat. This is how close you are to the end of everything, I say, my tone low and threatening. Jenna looks at me, her expression shifting from fear to something more profound. You're sick, Tom, she breathes. You're letting this consume you. No, Jenna, I reply, my voice steady. I'm reclaiming my power. You made your choices, and now you'll face the consequences. Tom, I loved you. I made a mistake, she pleads, desperation creeping into her tone. I step closer, my eyes locking onto hers. You loved me. What did you think love meant? Love is loyalty, respect, and trust, things you threw away for a fleeting moment of pleasure. Her eyes widen, realization dawning as I reveal the true extent of my plan. You think this ends with you too? No, it goes deeper. I've recorded everything, not just tonight, but every moment of betrayal, every confession of your infidelity. What do you mean? Jake asks, his voice trembling. I pull out my phone again and swipe through the gallery, revealing photos and videos documenting their affair, evidence of their lies, and clips of Jenna confessing her regrets to me after their encounters. You see, I'm not just hurting you. I'm going to ruin you. I'll send these to everyone, friends, family, co-workers. You'll be the joke in this neighborhood, the poster children for betrayal. Tom, don't do this. Jenna cries, the reality of my threat sinking in. You'll destroy us. That's the point, Jenna. You destroyed me first, I reply, a chilling calm enveloping me. I step back, letting the weight of my words hang in the air. You'll never see me again, and you'll never forget this moment. You'll carry it with you for the rest of your lives. With that, I walk toward the door, my heart pounding in my chest, the adrenaline coursing through me. I glance back, taking in the sight of them, two people who once meant everything to me now reduced to trembling shadows of their former selves. Tom, please. Jenna calls after me, her voice cracking. I'll change. I'll do anything. It's too late for that, I reply, feeling a sense of finality wash over me. You've shown me your true colors, and now I see how deep the betrayal runs. I hope you both enjoy the mess you've made. I step outside, the cool night air hitting me like a wave of clarity. As I walk down the path, I hear their voices fading behind me, desperate and pleading, but I refuse to look back. In that moment, I realize that I've taken back my life. The darkness that once consumed me begins to lift, replaced by a sense of liberation. I am free from the shackles of their deceit. But as I reach the end of the street, I can't shake the feeling that betrayal has a way of coming back around. I glance back at the house one last time, and I see the flickering lights through the window. Goodbye, Jenna. Goodbye, Jake, I whisper to the night, a weight lifting off my shoulders as I step into the darkness, leaving behind the ruins of my former life. In that moment, I know I will rebuild, stronger and wiser, with a deeper understanding of love and loyalty. As I walk away, a chilling thought strikes me: even though I've severed ties, betrayal has a way of haunting the heart. I can only hope that this chapter of my life is truly closed, but a part of me knows that the scars will remain, reminders of the darkness I've overcome.